All right, basic probability. Now, probability is anytime you talk about what are the odds of something happening. You know, what are the odds of, a coin landing on heads, a coin landing on tail? What's the probability of drawing a red marble out of a basket when you have all sorts of different multicolored things in there? Really, it's all it is at the bottom or the end of the day is just the number of favorable outcomes. Basically, how many times would you win if you're on a coin toss? Or if you're gambling on it, versus how many total possible outcomes are there. So probability of an event, the way you write it is P of something. Now, back in Algebra 1, you did this thing, F of X.
Attention, we are in lockdown. That means lock, light, and out of sight.
I'm just going to do this.
We are in lockdown. Lock, lights, and out of sight, please.
I already cut this off so you can't see the top of my head. Yeah, I already locked my door, so it's just a drill anyway. I need to get this done. Okay, so back in Algebra 1, you had F of X, and you do the exact same way. Probability of an event. So you guys write P of whatever it is equals favorable divided by total. We are actually going to be dividing those out to turn them into percentages. So let's just do a simple one, coin toss. So probability of getting a heads. Now, there are two options. You got heads and tails. So there are only two possibilities. So that goes on bottom. And there is one underneath, or on top, because there's only one heads. Same thing on tails. It's 1 out of 2. Now, when we divide those, let's see how this works. I think there's a weird glare. Yeah. 1 divided by 2 gives me 0.5 times 100 gives me the percentage. So it's 0.5 or 50%. So it's 0.5, which is 50%. Remember, that was times 100. Same thing here, equals 50%. Now, the key thing is that this always will add up to 100%. If it doesn't add up to 100%, then you've missed some sort of possible outcome here. All right, let's do something a little more complicated. Let's talk about a 10-sided die. Now, the 10-sided die, a decahedron is what it's called. I know it's not very common to see, but I'm hoping you can imagine it. Let's look at the possibility of getting, normally we talk about evens and odds, but again, that's still just 50-50. Let's talk about prime and composite. Now remember, a prime number is one that is only divisible by itself and 1, has exactly 2 factors. Composite has more than 2. So examples of primes would be things like 2 and 3. Now 4 is not prime, 4 is composite because 4 is 2 times 2. 5 is also prime, 7 is prime, 6 is 3 times 2, composite, 4 times 2 is 8, 3 times 3 is 9, 2 times 5 is 10, so these triangles are all composites. But what about 1? How many factors does 1 have? Well, 1 is only 1 times 1, that is 1 factor. Sorry, my handwriting stinks. Only 1 factor. So 1 is neither prime nor composite. It's its own category. Okay, so let's start calculating these up. Probability of prime is how many primes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Divided by total possibilities is 10. Composite is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that one is 5 out of 10. And my neither is just the 1, so it's 1 out of 10. Now let's convert those. I chose these because they're easy to simplify and do in your head. 4 divided by 10 is 0.4, which is 40%. 5 divided by 10 is 0.5 times 100 gives me 50%. And 1 divided by 10 is 0.1, which is 10%. And I want to look again at my total. 40 plus 50 is 90, plus 10 is 100%, so I got it all in there. Now, that's it for basic probability. Feel free to go back and look at this again if you need to, but that should all be review. We're actually going to be using this when we start getting to our Venn diagrams, which is why it's important for us to review it just now.